So I'm a huge Las Vegas fan, and if you're watching this, you probably are too. Normally, I visit about 3 to 5 times a year, but for all kinds of reasons, I wasn't able to go to Vegas for about 16 months. But I finally just returned home from a 4-day trip, and I have some thoughts on how Vegas has changed and also not changed in the ways I thought it would. First things first, prices. Everyone complains that Vegas is expensive, and yes, there is most certainly some truth to that. If you're not here to gamble or drink fancy cocktails, you're probably here to eat. And most likely at some amazing top-tier restaurants. Probably celebrity chef restaurants too. So yes, those ones are going to hurt your wallet. Even if you don't plan to eat at fancy restaurants, sure, prices have gone up. But if you've traveled anywhere else lately, and I mean anywhere on vacation, prices haven't gone up that much in Vegas. For example, Chris and I had a perfectly good breakfast at Blondie's in the Miracle Mile shops. We had bacon, eggs, and fried potatoes, and coffee, and he even had a Bloody Mary. It came to $21, and that was with their $1 BS surcharge. If you watch other videos on my channel, you know that we travel to Mexico quite often. And in comparison, Mexico is supposed to be less expensive. Well, $21 is 360 pesos, so I dug up a couple of breakfast receipts from one of our most recent trips to Mexico, and at one breakfast spot we ordered 2 breakfast entrees, 1 coffee, and 1 alcoholic drink, so basically the same type of breakfast we ate in Vegas, and this one came to 370 pesos. On another day somewhere else for the same type of breakfast, our bill was 422 pesos, over $24. So my point is, Vegas isn't cheap, but you can certainly find ways to spend your money or save a little money. I really was expecting prices to have jumped a whole lot more than they did from the last time I was in Vegas over a year ago, so that was actually a pleasant surprise. My next observation is about the $20 or $50 trick when checking into your hotel. If you don't know, this is when you hand over a $20 or a $50 bill as a tip along with your ID and credit card when you check in and ask if there are any complimentary upgrades. Lately, there's been lots of chatter that you don't have to bribe or tip the front desk staff to give you a better room. All you have to do is just ask nicely, and if they do have anything available, they'll give it to you. We had booked the cheapest king room at Planet Hollywood, and we were upgraded to a mini suite with a strip view of the Bellagio fountains. At check-in, we were polite, kind, and patient, and the lovely staff member put us in this amazing room. Now, there's all kinds of factors at play here, and I'll talk more about that in an upcoming video about my thoughts on our stay at Planet Hollywood. But it was nice to finally have some proof that this is how it can actually work instead of having to give the $20 upfront. Moving on to the pedestrian bridge coverings. This all started with Formula One. They covered up the glass so that people couldn't gather on the bridges and watch the race. This was also because of safety issues too. And now there's a new law that prevents anyone from loitering on these bridges. But I foresee this being a new thing because now they're doing it as advertisements for the Super Bowl as well. Although the glass wasn't entirely covered, walking along several bridges, our views of the Strip were severely obstructed. And if you've been to Vegas before, you know that many of these pedestrian bridges offer some of the best views of the Strip. So this got me thinking, like, will this be a new trend, selling the bridge glass as ad space? If so, I think that would be a shame, but I guess I shouldn't be surprised. And finally, visiting in off-season or winter season. So this was my first time visiting Vegas in late January, early February, which has traditionally been known as low season in Vegas. Although, if you know anything about Vegas, you know the idea of low season is definitely starting to become a thing of the past. Vegas is always busy, but I will say this time of year was a really nice reprieve from the usual crowds. And we didn't really have to make a reservation to get in anywhere, which is always nice. Although if you do have a celebrity chef restaurant you want to get into, still make a reservation. So if you're thinking about visiting in the winter, I would definitely return this time of year for a trip. Be aware though that this is not pool season in Las Vegas. Most pools will be closed until mid to late March depending on the weather. So if you do want some pool time on your Vegas trip, I have a list of which hotels have pools that are open year round. That's on my blog, which I have linked in the video description and in the comments. And be sure to save it or bookmark it because I do keep it updated. Also, this time of year is clearly the time for upgrades and construction before the busy travel season. Many of the escalators were undergoing maintenance and not everything was open. Just as an example, Heart Bar in Planet Hollywood, where we were staying, is undergoing a facelift right now, so it was completely closed off for construction. The good news is that Vegas does a really good job of just making these things blend in so you don't really notice. So I just wanted to give you guys a quick update on some Las Vegas things because I haven't had Vegas on my channel for a while. And stay tuned because I have lots of fun Vegas videos coming out soon. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.